It's Kevin McCullough on AM 970, The Answer.
You're listening to Kevin McCullough Radio, where we talk about breaking news as it happens, what it means, and why it matters.
Kevin McCullough, and here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Obliterating confusion.
Amplifying truth.
And pursuing clarity.
Kevin McCullough, now.
So much to talk about coming up. What impact will China have on global economic markets? We'll discuss that in Money Monday with David Fisher straight ahead. Also, Britt McHenry rejoins us on the burgeoning NFL controversies, plus what happened at the Emmys and all the rest of the day's news. It's right now. Kevin McCullough Radio.
Binge thinking.
Kevin McCullough.
Something interesting is happening with this.
Kevin McCullough, let me start with you.
I found this thing at townhall.com by Kevin McCullough. The big dog has come out of nowhere.
Kevin McCullough,
I just want to help people think.
nationally syndicated radio host and author of No He Can't.
He is playing the role as well as anybody could.
Kevin McCullough is a nationally syndicated radio host and author of No He Can't.
The odds are he's right.
It's Kevin McCullough Radio.
We've got another hurricane. There's all kinds of stuff happening around the world. They say that Jose may actually hit the tri-state area tomorrow. This is going to bring rain and stuff. We're not going to have a hurricane. It's not a hurricane anymore. But Hurricane Maria may be hitting, here we go, the Caribbean and Florida before the end of the week. It's going to be rather concerning. But lots of other news to get to today. And I want to give you an update on maybe the most important news we have. Do we have our breaking news? Is the because lo and behold, sometimes we have breaking news, and I need to know if there's do we have the we don't we're looking to see if we have the breaking news. I'd like to do the breaking news if we had the breaking news, but it would be good for us to have that. Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
can I please
that's
have your
what I was looking
attention?
for.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Right now. That's all that he needed to say there in the Anchorman. Anyway, okay, so big meeting today. Big, like it was like the 5 families coming together, of which only one was Italian. Only Morano represented the Italians, so everybody else can just like peace out here for a second, because this isn't like a denigration of Italian territory. No, we had the promotions department. We had the engineering department. We had the production department. We had the general manager's department or office, and we had the Kevin McCullough department. So the 5 families all gathered at the table in the large conference room, and Frank Morano's sitting there doing his Godfather. Only he has a cold. Like he's been shooting hot toddies all day trying to get over this thing, but nobody told him that the alcohol will make it worse. Like the voice, like it may help you, like, you know, feel better for a little bit, but then you'll be more like this by the time you're done. But so Laura, Grace, Alex, Frank, myself, we were in the conference room. Someone found a horse head in one of the seats. I don't know what that was about. But we've now got the 3-hour plan for the big remote on Thursday. Are you ready for this? And by the way, thank you very much, KMC. Well, what are we thanking you for? Because we got Benny, the owner-operator of Giardino d'Oro. Am I saying that like a boss or what? We got the owner of Giardino d'Oro, Benny, to agree to open up an hour before dinner, at least for the beverage area, the adult beverage area. So if you like adult beverages, and you know what kind of beverages I'm talking about if you're an adult, it's beverages adults drink. That's going to be open at 4 p.m. at 5 Gold Street, Giardino d'Oro, in Lower Manhattan on Thursday. It's Thursday, right? I better not show up on Friday. What, did we have something here yesterday? I thought we were, what's going on? No, so 4 p.m., Giardino d'Oro, 5 Gold Street, this Thursday. And here's what we've got we've got 3 interconnected hours of some of the most fun I've ever seen planned for a talk radio remote. For instance, in the 4 o'clock hour, how about 3 world-class chefs or at least 2 world-class chefs and 1 really Italian mom, very, very outspoken, all debating whether you call it sauce or you call it gravy, okay? Including, we were told by many today, Chef Nick from Giardino d'Oro, Chef Nicola, will be with us, and he will debate along with the other 2 as to whether or not you call it sauce or gravy. So we got that going on in the 4 o'clock hour. Then, my friend Joe Borelli and my other friend Joe Piscopo. I only have 2 friends. The only 2 friends named Joe. Well, then there's my other friend Joe Bucci. Evidently, if you're named Joe and you're my friend, your last name is Italian. Bucci, Borelli, Piscopo. What is Sebelius named? Is he Joe? Is he Joe? Oh, but is that Italian? Sebelius? His mom's Italian. She cooks Italian. All right, so if you're Joe and last name Italian, then you may be interested in the debate we're going to do at 4:30 on Thursday. It's going to be about the Columbus statues. Should we keep, plaque, or kill? That's the game we're going to play. We got people there that are coming from the keep the Columbus statue. We got people that are going to say, no, we need to add a plaque to it. Other people that want to kill it. So 4:30, we're going to do that debate. Then 5 p.m., the big slugfest. And I think we've got, is everybody in except Deedle? Did Deedle confirm yet?
Deedle's not confirmed.
What's Bo's problem? He'll run at a TV camera like it's an ice cream sundae on a hot summer day. Like, I don't understand. So everybody else is in, but we plan on the mayoral candidates that have the guts to step into the ring. 5 o'clock on Thursday. This is our big special surprise. We've got Nicole Malliotakis. We're hoping we get Bo Deedle. I've never known him to turn down free camera time. It's or mic time. And Sal Albanese. They're gonna discuss the issues of the city, and you're gonna be able to come and hear them. And unlike some other radio station up the dial, we're not going to charge you $25 to come see them. Like, I don't know who you think you are, that you're all that because you were a former reporter at Fox or whatever. And you get to charge $25 to come. Look, these are public servants. They're coming to serve us. So we're not going to charge you to get to ask questions of the mayoral candidates. That's not going to happen on Kevin McCullough's watch. So you come 5 p.m., have dinner with us. By the way, after dinner, the first round is on Benny. So he's going to pick it up. Then in the 3rd hour, which we will tape probably for some of Friday's show, Michael Riedel's going to stop by. You know Michael Riedel. He's with us on Fridays. And we're going to play a little game called Desert Island Discs, which is kind of fun. You got to name all the records, book, and luxury items you would take with you if you were stranded on a desert island. We'll see what it is. But then the most important thing we're going to talk about all afternoon. At 6:20 on Thursday at Giordano d'Oro, we're going to have a debate over the designated hitter. We've already got one really irate baseball fan who hates with a capital H the designated hitter. When we get his counterpart confirmed, I'll tell you who these people are. But they're going to go at it. And we're going to have to remove all bats from the premises because I think they may try to hit each other over the head with them. And then to top it all off, my friends, you're not going to want to miss this. The 2017 official calamari eating championships of AM 970 The Answer and of Giardino d'Oro and of Kevin McCullough Radio for 2017. The calamari eating championships to take place at 6:40 on Thursday evening. Now you've got to come see this stuff. It's going to be like a car wreck in the middle of the highway. Once you see it, you are not going to be able to turn away. You're going to have to come. Sauce versus gravy. Should we keep Columbus? The mayoral candidates. Desert Island Disc. The designated hitter. And stuffing your face and pie hole more full of calamari than any human should be allowed to possible. This is going to be a fun time. You have got to come. This Thursday, Giardino d'Oro. Doors open at 4. Broadcast will start at 5. The beverages will be flowing at 4. The food will be there at 5. We are going to have a really fun time, and I hope you're with us. Now, that's the good side. I'm in a bad mood today. And I'm in a bad mood because the things that I use my weekend to escape to, a little TV watching that I don't get to do the rest of the week, a little football, these are all areas of life that are being overrun by virulent anti-American haters. Stephen Colbert was rewarded with that, by the way, last night, with the lowest ratings in modern Emmy history. Good for them. I forgot they were on, to be honest. I didn't, the bride wanted to watch something else. I forget, some love story or something, whatever. But, I'm flipping football in the break. But then I got football causing a problem. I got to talk about that with Britt McHenry next. She is an ESPN anchor and reporter, former ESPN anchor and reporter, who covered the NFL and Major League Baseball for the network. And the protesters in football are now taking their protests from the sidelines in the pregame and now demonstrating them in the game themselves. What should our reaction be? Britt McHenry will join me next to discuss. I'm Kevin McCullough. This is Kevin McCullough Radio.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
It is a very slow ride on the northbound west side highway from the 70s right up to the George Washington Bridge. Southbound, we're in pretty good shape. On the FDR Drive traveling northbound, that is a slow ride from the 30s up into the 90s. Then slow again 140s to the GW Bridge. Southbound, we're slow from the 90s into the 50s. More delays, Manhattan Bridge into the Brooklyn Bridge. Cross Bronx westbound loaded up from Westchester Avenue to the George Washington Bridge. Along the way at Jerome Avenue, that's an accident being cleared. Eastbound heavy off the bridge out towards Webster Avenue. Bruckner Expressway, this will be on the eastbound side, just east of the Hunts Point Drawbridge. Looks like there's an accident being cleared. Across the Hudson, 45 minutes to an hour leaving the city at the Holland Tunnel. City down about a 10 to 15 minute wait. 5 to 10 minutes, make that 15 minutes going back to New Jersey at the Lincoln Tunnel on every approach except for 11th Avenue, which is only about a 5-minute wait, and 10 minutes on the city-bound side. In New Jersey, watch out for a crash on westbound Route 3 near 21 in Clifton. And now you know how not to go. I am Mike Barker on AM 970, The Answer.
Gary Goldberg has shared his insights on the markets and financial industry for over 3 decades as host of Money Matters, now on AM 970 The Answer, Sundays at noon. Each week, Gary helps you navigate the markets, world politics, and economic news affecting your investments. He also talks with an interesting array of guests. Catch Money Matters with Gary Goldberg, Sundays at noon on AM 970 The Answer.
Hi, Kevin McCullough here. You've been hearing me talk about our upcoming time together at Giardino d'Oro, coming up Thursday. We begin now at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, the broadcast is going to start at 5, but we're going to start the fun and games at 4 o'clock, including a big argument between Chef McCullough and a couple of other Italian food critics as to whether you call it sauce or you call it gravy. Then at 5 p.m., the main event, the big mayoral forum, Nicole Maliotakis, Bo Dietl, if he ever gets back to us, and Sal Albanese. Thursday, Giardino d'Oro, 212-514-6400 for reservations, 212-514-6400. That's 212-514-6400, or at 5 p.m. at 5 Gold Street in Lower Manhattan. Giardino d'Oro and Kevin McCullough Radio.
Napa know-how.
When you purchase a set of Napa brake pads and rotors, you get a discount code from Fanatics.com worth up to $50 towards your favorite sports gear. While Napa can't help your team reach the promised land, we can help make sure your car will, because these brakes come with something no sports team does: guaranteed performance. Great brakes, great price, great fan gear. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Offer expires September 30th, 2017.
Today we're talking about mortgages. If you're looking to obtain a home loan, Emmanuel Kateches from United Mortgage is here to help answer some questions. Emmanuel, what's currently happening in the mortgage industry?
There are many great things. For instance, one of the best new products is HARP. Right now, someone can refinance even if you owe more than what your house is worth. Also, United Mortgage can get you into a property with little or no money down.
Can you still get a mortgage even if you have bad credit?
Absolutely. Right now, even if you have a low credit score, we may be able to help you with various programs, such as FHA or VA.
What separates United Mortgage from other mortgage companies?
What separates us is service, hands down. We are here 7 days a week, from early morning to late evening. We understand that this process can be very intimidating. That is why our team has been trained in customer service and products. We are here for you even after the loan closes.
Call United Mortgage at 888-888-5721. 888-888-5721. United Mortgage is licensed by the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Department of Banking. 888-888-5721.
Listen to us anywhere. TuneIn.com, iHeartRadio.com. Get the app at AM970theanswer.com. Breaking news as it happens. You're listening to Kevin McCullough Radio.
Well, as you heard in the monologue, I am ticked today by the anti-American stuff that I have to put up with on, it seems like, every level. We got the Emmys last night. We got NFL football, and I'm going to talk about that further right now. The New York Post, big piece, Anthony Barstow, with this piece on how now ubiquitous these protests are becoming. It seems like in every stage of pro football across the country, wherever any of these players have a belligerent, wet dream, they're out there pumping fists and basically FUing America. And it's time to stop. If you don't like it, get a different job. But the insult to the country that gives you the greatest opportunity you've ever had, inappropriate on every level. Someone who may or may not agree with me, I'm not quite sure, we haven't discussed it, is Britt McHenry. She's the former anchor and sideline reporter for ESPN, covering the NFL and Major League Baseball, which I guess, Britt, this would be like your favorite time of year because here we go, division series are going to be coming up, and then you got, we'll be mid-season NFL here in a couple of weeks. But welcome back. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back on. It's always a pleasure.
So yesterday, the Seahawks defensive end, Michael Bennett, gets up, he sacks somebody, gets up, raises a single fist. This is now a new thing. Not enough to take a knee on the sideline during the national anthem and disrespect the nation. Now we've got to be a belligerent, BLM supporter in the middle of the football game. What's going on here, Brittany, and what's your take on it?
My take is that now it's become in vogue, the popular thing to do, to create more division from the same people who are supposedly fighting in their protests to eliminate division. There's no better way to put it than that. And the raised fist that Michael Bennett put up after his sack for Black Power, I would just like to ask him, Michael, do you realize that the crowd cheering for you, the loud applause, all of those people, 90,000 people in a football stadium are cheering for you? And guess what? That is a crowd of all races. White people, Hispanics, everybody in that crowd is cheering along with you. So why demonstrate something that further alienates you? And it just continues. There's plenty of other examples, but I think what's interesting is that for celebrations in the NFL, you could list a lot of them, whether it's, Antonio Brown with the Steelers or anyone else. Once they score a touchdown and they celebrate, many players have been fined for excessive celebration. So now what is the commissioner going to do about protests that aren't on the sideline anymore? They're actually on the field. Yeah, well, and that's the point of the piece in the New York Post today, is that these players they're just bringing this stuff into the game itself. And it's one thing for Colin Kaepernick to be treated according to his free market value. And let me explain what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. You're a jerk that takes great delight in insulting the country that gives you the opportunity to play professional football, and then you get mad when the free market that gave you that opportunity said, we don't really like that, and we don't really have a place for you. Now it's all about what you're entitled to. I should be entitled to have a spot in this market where I ticked off everybody that was watching me. And so now some of these other guys who are still in the league are going, well, okay, so maybe it's not. But Bennett is the worst because he kneels during the national anthem, and then he goes out and now he's doing this on the field. And there are more and more on every team. And, Britt, the NFL is hemorrhaging. I mean, ratings are awful this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't just say ratings. You can point to the crowds. I mean, Los Angeles has always struggled with professional football, and for whatever reason, now they've decided to have two teams in the same city, but you can see the photos for yourself. And it's not just in L.A. It's the Falcons game last night when they panned across the stadium, brand new stadium. The first thing several of my former colleagues and friends were texting me was, wow, people aren't showing up like they used to. And someone said this to me, and it really resonated. They said, the NFL was our escape. It was a Sunday tradition. Everybody from every background, every ethnicity could come together, get away from politics for a second and the day-to-day grind, and celebrate just an American pastime. And these players were seen as gladiators and fearless. And now it's just become a tool for whatever latest protest or social justice cause someone wants to champion. And that doesn't bring people together anymore. So I do think that has an effect on ratings. And it just seems way more divisive. And when we speak about Michael Bennett as well, as you know, I wrote a piece for the Federalist a week or two ago where he made an entire statement that he was detained unlawfully because of the color of his skin. Well, guess what? His lawyer came out and told Seattle reporters that race didn't have anything to do with it. There were hundreds of African Americans around him in the casino club that was forced to evacuate because of a potential shooting in Las Vegas after the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
Right.
So his own lawyer is contradicting his statement. And it just, once that came out, the story died. But 24 hours prior, all of liberal media was trying to champion that this was about racial profiling. And you know what? That's damaging to police officers who are trying to do their job, trying to protect Americans across the country and are doing it the right way. When you throw accusations out there like that, when they're not based in evidence, you could ruin someone's career. But people just went silent, and I have a problem with that.
Well, and I think that all Americans should. And let's look at a little bit about this from a different viewpoint, kind of the 35,000 foot viewpoint. Football is the last thing in America that hasn't completely emasculated the male image in our culture. So there's a lot of cultural forces that want to undermine football, that want to destroy the game because it makes such a statement about why masculinity is good for men. And there's lessons that they can learn through it, et cetera, et cetera. This whole idea that the NFL could become a political statement playground is really a current phenomenon that is that I think has a lot of people cheering for it because they want to see the NFL destroyed and they want to see this kind of last bastion of masculinity completely feminized like the rest of the culture. I'll give you the final word on it, but we've only got a couple of seconds. Britt, did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's my final observation. Anyway, the music means we're out of time. Britt McHenry, formerly of ESPN, and now you can read her in the Federalist. And she's got some other projects working on that she's going to bring to the fore. We'll talk about that in the days to come. Britt, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Kevin McCullough Radio, coming right back.
News, opinion, passion. This is AM 970, The Answer.
We have cloudy skies and 72 degrees on this Monday evening. What's going on? We have the answer. The driver of a car struck by a Long Island Railroad train in Deer Park has died. Fire officials say the car became fully engulfed in flames after being struck by an eastbound train about 12:30 this afternoon. A spokesman for the LIRR said there were no reported injuries among train passengers. The incident happened at the grade level crossing just west of the Deer Park station. President Trump is here in New York as he prepares to address the UN General Assembly tomorrow. People living near Trump Tower in Manhattan says they've noticed a lot more police in the area.
You realize that safety and security are the number one most important things. So if they do what they need to do to keep the neighborhood safe, I trust our police.
It's the safest area in Manhattan right now, so it's not too bad.
The president arrived in Big Apple early yesterday evening and will be spending the next few days at Trump Tower. The president is expected to discuss North Korea's continued nuclear missile tests and his address tomorrow. A Queens company whose bus was involved in a deadly crash this morning has a recent history of safety violations. Scott Pringle has more.
Congresswoman Grace Meng says her office will be doing some digging into the Dahlia charter bus company
and see what their track record has been, if there have been complaints, and what we can do to either heighten standards for these bus companies.
And that track record does not appear to be too good for Dahlia, who operates out of Flushing here. Federal records show there have been a handful of safety violations in the last couple of years for Dahlia, and that includes drivers accused of speeding and improper passing. Dahlia didn't return my repeated phone calls.
In sports, the Yankees host the Twins, the Mets are in Miami, and Monday Night Football at MetLife Stadium, the Giants in their home opener against the Lions. Taking a look at the traffic, 45 minutes outbound the Holland Tunnel, only 15 minutes outbound at the Lincoln Tunnel. Mostly cloudy tonight, chance of a shower, overnight low 67. Cloudy with rain likely from Jose tomorrow, a bit on the breezy side as well, high 73. And now you know what's going on. I am Mike Barker on AM 970, The Answer.
Here's attorney Michael Barish, whose law firm Barish McGarry represents more people in the 9/11 community than any other firm in the country. They're dedicated to fighting for those who've been devastated by 9/11.
There's a misconception that health care and compensation is only available to firefighters and police officers. The government created the Victim Compensation Fund and set aside $7 billion for responders as well as construction workers, downtown residents, and office workers, even students and teachers who were exposed to the toxic dust, which has been linked to respiratory illnesses and 68 cancers. My firm is honored to represent these people. We're dedicated to helping everyone get the compensation and health care they're entitled to. It's not too late, but you must register before the deadlines.
If you or someone you know was working, living, or going to school in Lower Manhattan between 9/11 and May 2002, urge them to learn more about their legal rights before time runs out. Visit WTCLawyers.com or for a free consultation, call 212-385-8000. 212-385-8000.
Another AM 970 Business Networking Breakfast is scheduled for Thursday, October the 19th. Public broadcaster Steve Adubato will lead the discussion on growing your business and breaking through the clutter of digital and traditional marketing. Hear from digital strategy and marketing expert Isaac Rudansky, founder of Adventure Media and author of 3 #1 best-selling courses on Google AdWords, remarketing, and landing page design. Also hear from Phil Van Horn, president and CEO of Blue Rock Energy, Jeannie Zaino, professor of political science at Iona College and frequent Fox contributor, and also Gary Goldberg, founder and CEO of Gary Goldberg Financial Services, about how to establish a brand and market through social media, online advertising, sports, and radio. Joe Piscopo, my morning man, and the team will be broadcasting live. A gourmet breakfast from DR Catering will be served. It's happening Thursday, October the 19th at Passaic County Community College in Wanacue. Entry is free, but you must register online at am970theanswer.com. The Salem Business Breakfast is sponsored by Blue Rock Energy.
Listen to Joe Piscopo in the morning, weekdays at 6. Mike Gallagher at 10 on AM 970. The Answer. What you need to know when you need it. It's Kevin McCullough Radio.
Sounding the alert. Don't forget, Thursday evening, 5 p.m. we start the broadcast, but 4 o'clock we start all the fun at Giardino d'Oro, Lower Manhattan, 5 p.m. 5 Gold Street is the address. And 5 o'clock, it'll be the mayoral candidates. Do we have Bo Dietl confirmed yet?
Still waiting on him.
Still waiting on Bo. You know, for being the ambulance-chasing, saliva-throwing dog that he is, I am really surprised that he hasn't just jumped on this all yet. I would think this would be the perfect bone for Bo Dietl.
He's trying to find Big Bird, I think.
But Sal Albanese and Nicole Malliotakis are confirmed. It's going to be the mayoral debate of the season. I hope that you will join us. We got a lot of other fun stuff planned. Should the Columbus statue stay? Sauce versus gravy, designated hitter. We're talking about major debates of the day. But today we're dealing with very anti-American sentiment as it ruined my weekend. The NFL, what's going on? Michael Bennett being anti-American on the field. We just talked about that with Britt McHenry. But last night, through the snooze fest called the Emmy Award, evidently every other word was anti-Trump, anti-America, this, that. Someone who was forced to write about it and watch it all, who has my deepest sympathy today, is our dear friend Bree Payton from thefederalist.com. Bree, I'm so sorry on behalf of America. Thank you for taking the bullet and for sitting through what is the lowest rated Emmy Awards of the modern era, but we appreciate your diligence in doing so.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on to talk about it.
You had an interesting title to your column. You said Dolly Parton's reaction was what the rest of us felt. For people that weren't there and for the many millions of us that didn't see, how bad was it last night?
It was pretty bad. Gravy and News had a great list of the top 10 most obnoxious or eye-roll-worthy political moments. during the evening, I mean, I couldn't get through all of it, but I watched most of it, and I'm not at all exaggerating when I say that nearly every single moment of the show was dedicated to virtue signaling and or bashing the current presidential administration.
Now, for people that are not familiar with the cool tech lingo that you speak, describe virtue signaling.
Oh, yeah. It's basically liberals saying, look at how good we are at exhibiting all the virtues that we bludgeon other people into exhibiting also. So at one point in the evening, they had like a montage of all of the LGBTQIAA or QAII individuals that have worked in the television industry, throughout the past year. And they also mentioned diversity no less than probably 975 times. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time they used that word,
you would have retired this morning.
I'd be a rich lady.
That's right.
Yeah, I would have retired. Yeah. Anyway, so just the whole evening was all about diversity and why the current administration is so terrible and why it's literally Handmaid's Tale and why the current president is literal Hitler. And that was basically the evening. And the moment that I was referring to in that piece is when Dolly Parton goes on stage and is flanked by her 9 to 5 co-stars Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda in introducing a winner for Best Supporting Actor. And the two people next to Dolly decide to use that moment to, attack the president, and her eyes get kind of wide and she kind of makes those kind of a grimace, like a ooh face, at what's going on. And, she's not a huge fan of the president either, but her face, I think, really just kind of said it all, right?
Sure.
I mean, we're all kind of sick of it and all kind of about what was on TV last night.
Well, it's turned into these episodes have turned into for leftists the only moments they get to really bully the pulpit and show their true colors. And it's gotten so bad that ratings and consecutive performances of these broadcasts are going down each year. I mean, there's fewer and fewer people interested in what any of them have to say. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm saddened that pro football is now being attacked in this kind of similar way as we discussed with Britt a little bit earlier. Now, the interesting thing about Dolly is she is a real common sense girl. And so, she may not love Trump, but I certainly don't think she'd be the kind of guy that if she didn't love Barack Obama would get up and do anything against him either. It's like we've somewhere lost the ability to just show basic dignity and class in our public affairs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it seemed that she was caught off guard and surprised by what her co-stars were doing. She was kind of like, oh, what's happening, right?
I didn't want to have to deal with all this other mess.
No,
exactly.
Virtue signal all the time.
All right, new vocabulary words, kids. Virtue signaling. And Bree Payton, who taught it to us. Bree, thank you for your good work. Appreciate it. Read her in thefederalist.com.
Larry Elder explains why we will never see entitlement cuts.
That's why I said the time that Obama signed Obamacare, it would never be repealed. Once you expand Medicaid and you start giving people benefits they didn't have before, people getting care they didn't have before, and then to change things, you will then be labeled cruel.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Joe Walsh at 9 on AM 970. The Answer.
Hi, Kevin McCullough. Recently, just on vacation, we met up with my brother and sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law had never used the MyPillow, and she was saying, she just had a new baby, and she's needing to get good sleep. And so when Dad brought extra pillows over, he made sure he brought a MyPillow in that batch, and she used it. The next morning, saying to me, Kev, I can't believe I've never tried it. With all this time you've been talking about it, what a difference a single night's sleep made. Friends, it's just another example of person after person after person that the MyPillow has changed the sleeping patterns, sleeping lives, sleeping health of. and that's why I want you to try it. They are still offering 50% off everything on the MyPillow.com website when you use the promo code. So why don't you go there today, 800-506-2641, 1-800-506-2641. All of MyPillow products made in America, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee, guaranteed you're going to get the best night's sleep of your life every single night. 800-506-2641, 800-506-2641, promo code AM970, the answer, or 800-506-2641.
Hi, this is Michael Reel of On the Town. My show is brought to you by Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel, starring Joshua Henry, Jesse Mueller, and the great opera singer Renee Fleming, making her first appearance in a Broadway musical. Previews begin February 28th. Visit telecharge.com and get tickets to Carousel.
Hi, Kevin McCullough here. You've been hearing me talk about our upcoming time together at Giardino d'Oro, coming up Thursday. We begin now at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, the broadcast is going to start at 5, but we're going to start the fun and games at 4 o'clock, including a big argument between Chef McCullough and a couple of other Italian food critics as to whether you call it sauce or you call it gravy. Then at 5 p.m., the main event, the big mayoral forum, Nicole Malliotakis, Bo Dietl, if he ever gets back to us, and Sal Albanese. Thursday, Giardino d'Oro, 212-514-6400 for reservations, 212-514-6400. That's 212-514-6400, or at 5 p.m. at 5 Gold Street in Lower Manhattan. Giardino d'Oro and Kevin McCullough Radio.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code The Answer.
Allergies, pollen in the air, dogs in the house, mold in the basement. Whatever triggers your allergy symptoms, it can really hold you back. Break through with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief. Allegra works fast, won't make you drowsy, provides 24-hour multi-symptom relief, and it's effective every day. Break through allergies with Allegra. Starts working in 1 hour. Use only as directed. Guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com.
An inspiring story of one man's journey to save the world, one child at a time.
I see the impossible becoming possible.
Mully, in select cinemas nationwide, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Buy tickets now at mullymovie.com.
Proving that he may be ready for prime time. Frank Morano. Sunday mornings at 4 on AM 970. The Answer.
Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world.
If it's happening in New York or across the globe, learn why it matters first on Kevin McCullough Radio.
Just a reminder, this coming Thursday, if you're in New York, 5 Gold Street, Giardino d'Oro, and Kevin McCullough, it's going to be our live remote. We've got 3 hours of fun lined up. We're opening the doors at 4 o'clock. They are allowing an early pregame, happy hour kind of atmosphere. The kitchen will be open and serving beginning at 5. We have got the 3 candidates from the mayoral race that are going to appear. We're going to kick things around, and then we've got all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to debate sauce versus gravy. If you're Italian, Giardino d'Oro, you should be expecting a debate about something like that. The Columbus statue, whether or not the designated hitter should exist or not in Major League Baseball. We may have a calamari eating contest. But we've got the mayoral candidates coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. This Thursday, 5 p.m. Actually, come at 4. But we start the broadcast at 5 p.m. at Giardino d'Oro, 5 Gold Street in Lower Manhattan. All right. On Mondays, we like to talk about another kind of spicy dish, the economy. and what it's doing in your portfolio. And David Fisher, the CEO of Landmark Capital, is back with us. David, thanks for being here. Your current newsletter is titled "Which Came First, the Chicken or the Egg?" If people want to get that, they can call 844-604-2575. Speaking of food, chicken and eggs and everything's just making me hungry these days. Anyway, President Trump at the UN this week, David, it's going to be a big deal. What's he going to accomplish? What should he accomplish? What should he talk about? What's your take on the president and the United Nations?
Well, he certainly was spicy in what he said before the UN. He said the UN has not reached its full potential because of bureaucracy and is mismanaged, while the United Nations on a regular budget has increased 140%, and its staff has moved up, doubled since year 2000. And he's saying that we're not seeing the results of this in line with the investment that we've been giving the United Nations. Great words from our president, a businessman, and he's pushing the United Nations to, increase the sanctions against North Korea. And North Korea, unfortunately, is already fighting back on their rhetoric, saying they're threatening to speed up their nuclear program over UN sanctions. So there's this rhetoric. This could pan out in, unfortunately, some military action. This could cause uncertainty, but the markets are not blinking an eye today. All three indexes are performing extremely well.
Well, and that's good news. And I'm kind of this perspective on the UN. Bulldoze the place, turn it into 3 parking garages. We need the extra spaces in Manhattan. That's just, forget the world, whatever. We'll just take the land and make parking spots out of it, because for us personally, it would benefit us a lot more. But I understand where he's saying. Now, let's talk about China for a second, because today, I believe it was, Mr. I'm going to get his name wrong. The trade representative, Lights Hyder. No, that's not right. But he was on my show when I was at the White House a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, he says that China is a real problem, and it is a maybe a more significant one than anything else we're dealing with. What's your take on China and the role they play with us right now?
As far as a country, it's the number one country besides the United States.
Lighthizer. I got it. It hit my head. U.S. Trade Representative Lighthizer. Sorry about that. Go ahead, David.
Exactly. Besides the United States, Kevin, it's the number one country that I study. And China is doing a lot of things behind the scenes, like buying gold, selling treasuries. They've been doing that aggressively since 2005. But they just launched a major announcement, probably the biggest announcement in 10 years, and they're announcing that they're going to now sell or buy oil and make payment not only with the Chinese yuan, their currency. Now they're going to make payment in gold. So this is a game changer for the oil industry, a game changer for the dollar, unfortunately, and certainly a game changer for the gold, the oil industry too. So this makes things quite a bit different in how worldwide central banks might make payment and receive payment. They now have another choice. The yuan is one of their choices, and gold is one of their choices, not just U.S. dollars.
And the yen was obviously something that was challenging the dollar for supremacy, and we stopped being the secure monetary backing a couple of years ago. But if they are willing to buy and sell oil via gold, practically speaking, David, how does that change things for the average investor here?
Well, let's put it into perspective of numbers here.
Okay.
China is the largest importer of oil in the world. Russia loves them. 29% of their oil comes from Russia. 26% comes from Saudi Arabia. And the other, Angola is the other big importer to China. China last year received 7.6 million barrels of oil a day.
Wow.
Multiply that by 365, multiply that by $40, which is your average of oil last year. That's a big, big number. Now imagine China's going to make payment in gold, and they got to buy gold to do that. That's going to drive the gold market.
Well, so for people that have been investing in gold, this is good news for us.
Very good news, and this is a big-time game changer. This is the first time in the history that a country, the largest importer of oil, let alone, is now going to make payments not just in their own currency, not only away from the U.S. dollar, but now make payment in gold. This is going to, obviously, markets work off supply and demand. When the demand all of a sudden opened the gates for gold, this is a huge thing for the gold market.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest about something here, and the kind of sum of world events in recent days have really changed my own thinking on some things. And before we took our little family trip this summer, I decided to actually pack some gold with me and to take gold with me in the event that we got stranded, that something happened where the power went out, that there was some way in which I was going to be unable to do anything else. I actually had gold on my physical person because I thought this would be a lifesaver if I was in dire enough circumstances. And you just don't know with hurricanes and terror attacks and everything else. So, I mean, I'm already changing how I think about what I'm doing, when I'm out there. And this kind of on the global scale is going to change that as well. Friends, get his newsletter, Which Came First, the Chicken or the Egg, and also get his free copy of the coming bail-in. It's the 6th edition of this. Must reading for your financial planning. David Fisher, always good to have you. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
844-604-2575.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
Don't forget, my friends, the Giants host the Lions in Monday Night Football action tonight at 8:30 at MetLife Stadium. Parking lots are open. Fans are making their way into those parking lots for some pregame fun, some tailgating fun. And if you're heading towards MetLife Stadium right now, it's not horrible along Route 3, along the Turnpike, along Route 17. But I am seeing signs that northbound Western Spur is getting heavy coming up towards the Eastern and Western Spur split. And a lot of folks are being diverted by signs to the Eastern Spur to go northbound. And it says 16W Sports Complex only on that northbound side of the Western Spur. So at least for now, the Western Spur is not bad heading up towards MetLife Stadium. Parkway South, we're slow 143 to 135. Northbound slows Union Tolls up to 145. Across the Hudson River, 45 minutes to an hour leaving the city at the Holland Tunnel. City-bound side, really not bad. 15 minutes each way at the Lincoln Tunnel. GW Bridge, a pretty good ride for you. And the West Side Highway is loaded up northbound from the 50s up into the 120s with a crash. And now you know how not to go. I am Mike Barker on AM 970, The Answer.
Tired of dealing with dummies? Experience the smart way to buy a car at Route 22 Toyota. No hidden fees, no back and forth, no pressure, and no wasting time with dummies. Alex Cancella, the general manager, prides himself on his low lease offers and 0% APR financing for up to 72 months for qualified buyers. And now my buddy Alex wants you to experience their new smart way to service. He's taking the same smart approach that's been so successful in selling cars into the service bay. So he said, Joe, I'm going to let you give the first 5 callers in the next 5 minutes a free multi-point inspection and oil change and filter if they call 855-621-9949 and say Joe sent me. 855-621-9949. In the next 5 minutes, get a free oil change and filter on me. 855-621-9949 and say this one's on Joe. Route 22 Toyota, Route 22 West in Hillside, New Jersey, or at Route22Toyota.com. Tell them Joe sent you for the free oil change. All European makes excluded.
Hi, Kevin McCullough here. You've been hearing me talk about our upcoming time together at Giardino d'Oro, coming up Thursday. We begin now at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, the broadcast is going to start at 5, but we're going to start the fun and games at 4 o'clock. The adult beverage counter will be open. There will be lots of happy hour activities, including a big argument between Chef McCullough and a couple of other Italian food critics as to whether you call it sauce or you call it gravy. They're going to have that debate. Then we're going to talk about the Columbus Day Parade and the statues and whether they should stay up, should they be plaqued, or should they be killed. There's people weighing in on all sides of that debate. But then at 5 p.m., the main event, the big mayoral forum. Nicole Malliotakis, Bo Dietl, if he ever gets back to us, and Sal Albanese be there to discuss the issues related to your city. And in the 6 o'clock postgame, we've got a lot of fun as well. A debate over whether or not the designated hitter should even exist in Major League Baseball. All this fun Thursday, Giardino d'Oro, 212-514-6400 for reservations, 212-514-6400. That's 212-514-6400, or at 5 p.m. at 5 Gold Street in Lower Manhattan. Giardino d'Oro and Kevin McCullough Radio.
Jay Sekulow live is next on AM 970. The Answer. What you need to know when you need it. It's Kevin McCullough Radio.
So glad that you're able to spend some time with us and hoping to see you in person coming up this Thursday, September the 21st at Giardino d'Oro. The doors will open at 4. Benny has said he's going to have the adult beverages flowing at that time. And we've got a fun lineup. We've got 3 hours of incredible fun conversation and newsmakers that are going to be with us. Sauce versus gravy. What do you call it? If you're a genuine culinary expert on Italian food, what do you call it? Sauce or gravy? We're tapping significant Italian aficionados, Italian food aficionados, that will be giving their different perspectives on it. And Chef Nicola of Giardino d'Oro is going to join us. So we're looking forward to that. Then we're going to have a debate about the Columbus statues, and we've got plenty of people fired up to talk about keeping them. But now the debate isn't just whether we keep them or kill them, it's do we plaque them? Do we put some sort of denigrating motto on a thing next to them? Say, well, he wasn't perfect, and here's all the things he did wrong. So keep, plaque, or kill. That's what we'll play with Columbus. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, which will be on the air, we've got the mayoral candidates. Any word from Deedle?
I am still waiting,
Okay,
Kevin.
We're still waiting. Deedle has not confirmed yet, but we're pretty sure that Bo will agree and be there. Sal Albanese is going to be there. Nicole Maliotakis is going to be there. They've all been on my show by themselves. There's no reason for them not to be there. But we're looking forward to that in the 5 o'clock hour. And then we've got more fun stuff in the after 6. So should there be a designated hitter in baseball? We've got 2 rabid baseball aficionados that are ready to lay out the arguments whether or not the designated hitter should survive or not. And as you know, we are getting closer to the postseason, so that'll be fun. And then do not miss this, the calamari eating contest. Now, I understand that some of our very own station ladies are going to be participating in that. Some of the real angels and gems around the radio station going to eat calamari. Who can eat the most, the fastest? I don't think I'll be participating, but anyway, that's going on in the 3rd hour. So we've got it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of celebrities are going to be there. We're going to encourage you to come on by early, get your adult beverage in the 4 o'clock hour, get dinner, and then Benny's going to buy your after dinner beverage. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Giardino d'Oro, 5 p.m. is when we start the broadcast. 4 p.m. doors open at Giardino d'Oro, 5 Gold Street, Lower Manhattan. Be there for us. Finally tonight, the director of the movie It, Mr. King, he said this week that Trump is the scariest, ugliest, most immoral thing he's ever seen. This from a man who ends his movie with 11-year-old boys gang raping an 11-year-old girl. Food for thought.